Cleopatra is a super rare rarity light cruiser from the Royal Navy, and is a part of the Dido class of light cruisers. She was only available in the limited construction banner during the A Rose on a High Tower event from 2025, which should get a rerun in the next 1 to 2 years. Cleo was launched from the Hawthorne Leslie & Company shipyard on the 27th of March 1940, commissioned on the 5th of December 1941, decommissioned on the 15th of March 1953, and was scrapped on the 15th of December 1958. Cleo did the usual tasks a British light cruiser did in the Second World War and post-war period. Here are her more interesting exploits. Was the flagship for Admiral Philip Vian during the Second Battle of Sirte, where she was badly damaged by RN Giovanni delle Bande Nere. Was torpedoed by RN Dandolo on the 16th of July 1943. And played the fictional HMS Amesbury in Stratford in the 1953 film version of Brown on Resolution. In her character art, drawn by Pop QN, Cleo wears a black, low-cut top with gold accents, a black tie with gold detailing, white dress collar with gold choker and frilled sides, gold hoop earrings, a white made headband with jackal ears, white and black arm cuffs with gold ornaments, tan lines on her chest, black half gloves with black bracelets, a white and black skirt that she curtsies with, white thigh highs with black garter straps, and black shoes with gold anklets on her right ankle. Her rigging consists of 2 symmetrical armatures to her left and right, both having white ship hulls with gold trim and purple crystals at the bottom, dark wooden decks on top, dual-barreled naval cannons at the midship, and what look to be jackal ears directly behind them. Directly behind her is some light that looks like a Stargate, pyramid, and cobras. In her voice lines, voiced by Yuri Asui, who also voices Rinami Himasaki in Idolmaster, Cleo often talks of the Nile and her specialties.
私はクレオパトラ。偉大なる知恵を受け継いだロイヤルメイドが一人。あなたは私のご主人様？奉仕上手だけでなく、博覧狂気とは私のこと。例えばナイル文化における72種類の接待の仕方とか、ご主人様ならきっとご存知でしょ？ロイヤルネイビーのクレオパトラ。ご主人様のメイドにして、ナイル文明の専門家です。私の日焼け跡にご興味が？ええ、これはラーの祝福にして、神に愛された証明であり、聞いたことがない？それはさておき、服のアクセサリーの由来でも説明して差し上げましょうか。ご主人様、大事です。委託が完了しました。転速で時間を推定して、携帯でアラームをつけてもいいって？私の計算は間違っていませんよ。ご主人様に買って差し上げたアミュレット、正規品のはずなのに、メイドイン母校と書いてあって。きっとナイルと母校の間に貿易関係があったに違いありません。お帰りなさいませ。ナイル文明で一番人気があったという紅茶でも。あの時代に紅茶なんてなかったって？じゃあ、あの時代の人々はどんなもので水を飲んでいたかご存知ですよね？説明して差し上げましょう。
At level 125 with max affinity and enhancements, Cleo has 4,109 HP, 161 firepower, 185 torpedo, 445 AA, 196 reload, 115 evasion, light armor, 32 speed, 182 accuracy, 68 luck, 190 anti-sub, and consumes 11 oil. Cleo has 2 skills and an AoA, which focus on buffing herself and others. Cleo's first skill, Sun God's Radiance, at level 10, Cleo buffs her own main gun and torpedo efficiency by plus 20%. When the battle starts, she also buffs her own crit rate by plus 8% for each ship in the Vanguard fleet, stacking up to 3 times for plus 24% crit rate. Every 20 seconds, as well, she fires a special barrage. The shells from the barrage inflict a minus 15% accuracy debuff, and the torpedoes inflict a minus 10% speed debuff for 10 seconds on enemies hit by them. Her second skill, Guidance of the Stars, at level 10, has Cleopatra buff her own evasion by plus 15%. When the battle starts, Cleo reduces plane damage that the fleet takes by minus 5%, and if there's another HMS ship in the same fleet as her, it's further decreased by another minus 5%. Every 10 seconds, Cleo performs a horoscope reading, increasing the firepower or torpedo of Royal Navy Vanguard ships by plus 12% for 8 seconds. Then picks a random enemy and debuffs their firepower or torpedo respective to the buff by minus 8% for 8 seconds. When the effect procs, and if there's more than 2 surface enemies present, it procs an additional time. The recommended equipment for Cleo is the twin 138.6mm MLE 1934 for a fast-firing gun that's great against all armor types, the 533mm improved quad-mag torpedo as it's the best homing torpedo currently, the twin 76mm RF Mark 37, currently the best AA gun for the Vanguard fleet, the repair toolkit and high-performance steering gear for passive healing and a boost to evasion, and the crossbow for a buff to AA. Cleopatra is surprisingly a decent support and DPS ship for your Royal Navy-centric fleets. Both of her skills boost multiple stats for herself and some of the other Vanguard fleet ships, as well as debuffing enemies on top of barrages from her S1. This allows Cleo to be used in later stages without worrying too much about staying alive against tougher and tougher foes, though she does work best in the boss fleet, in my opinion, given her debuffing barrages and her S2 buff requirements. On that topic, she does have a fair amount of inconsistencies with her skills, or just unreliability, with her S2 flip-flopping between a firepower or torpedo buff/debuff every 10 seconds, twice if there's 2 or more foes on the screen when it procs. The S2 buffs are also limited to Royal Navy ships, specifically the Vanguard ships, the same going for the plane damage reduction in the first part of her skill. These requirements are also partially present in her S1, where she needs 3 other ships in the Vanguard fleet to get that maximum 24% crit boost, which is also why I recommended her for boss fleets instead of mob fleets, since that check for the crit rate boost is at the start of the battle. Regardless, high priority to raise. Thank you for watching. Please follow my Twitter and Blue Sky for updates, and please check out my other Arknights and Uma Musume videos as well.